just speed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as carts roll out on track. This is your 206 Senior and Master category out rolling as they get ready for their 12 minutes plus 2 laps of action to head through. If 206 Senior replicates what KA100 Senior did, well, buckle up because it's going to be wild here as they go. Esteban Munoz up in the front with Carlo Roschetti in second, Dylan Almeida in third, Ethan Bellis in fourth, Summer Whited in fifth, Pedro Crispum in sixth, Leonardo Fernandez Palante in seventh, Yaden Casas in eighth, Eduardo Seicher in ninth, Juan Carlos Matute with Jacob Shortshecki and Manny Sola, your 12 carts to take on this 206 Senior Master category here. 11 carts are senior. Your only master is the 488 of Manny Sola here. It's going to be exciting to watch, though, up in the front as we had Esteban Munoz and Carlo Roschetti have a great battle through the pre-final. Will they replicate it into the final? Into the tram lines they go, side by side. Let's see, do we get... And no, they send them back around for one more go. Looks like didn't like something they saw there. They send them back around, and that would be what it was. Sola was not in position there in the tram lines.
Yeah, and actually I do see that James Hare, who took over qualifying and he won the pre-final, he just wasn't able to make it out on track, unfortunately. So it was funny because James Hare was the only 206 master in qualifying, and now Sola is the only 206 master in the race. So kind of an even amount of appearances between the two. Although James Hare is going to take it 2-1 in the 206 master battle between those two in particular. But it is going to be a fantastic 12 minutes plus 2 laps in our penultimate race here on the Saturday.
Coming back to try this one more again, coming down into the tram lines, and we are green. We are racing here for the Senior Master main event, side by side into turn one. Bit of contact there for second place, a bit of 2 wide back further through, and a big dive to the inside going in the mid pack. Everybody trying to shuffle their way along here up the hill for the first time, then down the bridge down into turn one. But for Esteban Munoz, it is a clean race start.
Yeah, he had a very good race in the pre-final earlier on today. So he's going to continue to just push along here and do everything that he can to get these positions and just try to hold on to the race lead. And I mean, him and Carlo Roschetti had a really good battle in the pre-final earlier on. And I expect nothing less than these two to have a really good battle. And you do have Dylan Almeida trying to go ahead and maybe try to go ahead and disrupt this battle. We'll see. I mean, anything can happen here in our penultimate final of the afternoon. Right now, Carlo Roschetti taking the fastest lap with a 101.777.
Continuing to push and battle along here up the hill yet again as the 206s, they're very heavy on draft dependence. They're very heavy on a game of follow the leader, so expect to see them hold each other kind of nose to tail here for the next little bit as they work their way along, and that is exactly what we see going on, is that nose to tail run continuing to follow itself up in 206 Senior, and it'll be interesting to watch and see if anyone decides to be a friend, because what's that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'd be curious to see if any of these 206 drivers decide to start working with each other to try to pull a gap here, especially those top two. Those top two will work together enough. They can pull a gap on P3 back and then start battling it out. They've got 8 minutes and 45 seconds to really see what they can do and how far away they can get. And of course, they are running the same cart here, and it'll be interesting to see if they decide to play kind, how it plays out. But right now, their problem is going to be that third place is way too close to them. Almeida in that 305 is right there on the back. They can't pull any sort of gap right now.
Yeah, right now the 305 is constantly applying pressure to the 375 of Carlo Roschetti and the 309 of Esteban Munoz, as they are just trying the front two are going to work together. They want to pull a gap because they had a fun battle earlier on, and they'll just want to do that again, have a bit of a repeat of the pre-final. But Almeida is saying, nuh-uh, you're not going to exclude me from this fight. I want a little bit of this action. And he's going to try to close it. We'll see if the gap stays or just kind of accordions a bit here. As it looks like Almeida's starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. He did close in by a couple hundredths to Rossetti. And now these three are almost all nose to tail. Coming up and down the bridge they go. Trying to make a move into the sweeping left hairpin. As now they're coming through. And we got to remember, they've been on this tire for quite a while, at least since earlier on today. I know they ran I think they did run a slightly different tire earlier due to the track still being a bit wet when they were qualifying. But the same tires for the pre-final and the final. So those things have definitely been through some wear. And I thought Esteban Munoz was a bit too much on the edge there.
Yeah, Esteban Munoz here really trying to push to get away from Rossetti, trying to push with Rossetti to get away from Almeida, and it is easier said than done, I have to say that, in this 206 Senior Master category to pull any sort of a gap. They're certainly giving it the try, but it's just not seeming to really capitalize right now for Esteban Munoz and for Rossetti. Continuing along here, 6.5 minutes left to go for these drivers as they work their way through. And I'll tell you right now, for Esteban Munoz has had a strong showing here so far in this season. Lots of podiums over at AMR Motorplex, trying to find things through, and well, looking like a very good run here will add to the mix here for Carlo Rossetti. Of course, Carlo Rossetti, a very, very strong driver here with Nash Motorsports, and will be looking to find a bit more of a run here. Also has had a lot of runs over at AMR and tends to win. So these two really know how to race with each other over at AMR, and they're showing it right now in FLKC that they can race together very, very well as well.
Yeah, and they're just showing just that true pace. As the fastest lap actually goes to Jaden Casas, currently with a 59.199, fastest car on track at the moment. As now we're going to see it, and here comes the battles. The battles are well and truly alive. And here we go. It's going to be a strong fight between these cars. It is actually going to be the 324 against the 377, as they're all just trying to find their positions, trying to find their footing. You got 5 minutes left to go, and then you got your final 2 laps. And Esteban Munoz and Carlo Rossetti did pull away ever so slightly from Dylan Almeida, but it is not enough. You still got to pull out a bit more of a gap if you want that. If you want that freedom just to kind of race on your own. And the 324 of Jaden Casas trying to chase down Summer Whited. It's going to be a good move. It's going to be a lunge. Down the hill they go. He's got the inside. He will back out of it for now. Jaden Casas backing out of the move for now. But there will be another opportunity in the near future. I can definitely see he's got the pace.
100% agree with that. And of course, Esteban Munoz is one of the managers over at the Apex Racing Group, coach and mechanic over there, and has a critical role in the team coordination and operation and success. As a former national champion, we'll be looking to have some strong pace up in the front. Jaden Casas right now has your fastest lap of anyone back in 6th in the 324. You see here continuing to put some pressure up in the front on Summer Whited, and looking to try to make some moves ahead, and not able to get the pass there, but is certainly sitting right on the back in that 324. Jaden Casas will be looking up and down the order, trying to find the way to go. That 324 has had some good runs this season as well, with an average qualifying of 5th and an average finish of 8th here on the go. 4 wins, 13 podiums, and 36 races in the Carter DB database. Finished first, of course, in round 1 in the 206 senior category, and is going to continue to try to push and find momentum.
Momentum is so important in these 206 cards, as we're going to just take a look and see who's going to go and get the move done. Carlo Rochetti still right on the bumper, almost bump drafting as they come through, and by 0.09, by 900ths of a second, you know, these guys are absolutely trying to work together to build that gap. But sometimes when it comes to racing, you just gotta break those friendships and just go straight to war, because there's only one person that can finish on that top step of the podium, regardless of how much these two try to pull away and try to race as a consistent unit. It's either going to be Munoz or Rochetti. If it's going to be either one of those two, only one can take the top step. They all can't take the top step, as everything is going to continue to race on, and they are just going to fight tooth and nail for the position. Whether it's now or later, we'll just have to find out.
Under 2 minutes to go now, and the battle up front continues. Carlo Rochetti currently showing slightly faster than Esteban Munoz, but not able to get the pass done. Dylan Almeida has lost the momentum here, but is still running faster than Ethan Bellis in 4th place. So the top two working to pull away from Dylan Almeida, but has to be able to get the pass here. Is trying very hard to do so, but not able to do it at the moment. Working together as much as possible. Again, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, and it's a third entirely to defend it. And right now we're seeing the catch versus pass battle really play itself out here in the front. Nose to tail they go, nose to tail they sit. Again, coming through the third part of the lap. We're under 60 seconds to go, and you see the bounces in the seat. Esteban Munoz here looking to find that pace ahead, looking to find that way forward here as they cross the line. It should be 3 laps to go, including this one.
3 laps to go, and Rochetti just at the fastest lap of the race. It is a 59.099. So he is trying to do everything in his power to now try to maybe grab the lead off of Esteban Munoz. And this is going to be just a hard fight between these two. Mission success. They pulled the gap to Dylan Almeida, but now they got to figure out who is going to take the top step between the two of them. It's going to be a good, hard fight, and we know how fast these two can be. We know how much respect these two have for each other on the racetrack. We saw it earlier in the pre-final, and right now it is going to be a battle of the greats. Carlo Rochetti, he took qualifying, and then Esteban Munoz took the pre-final. Which one of these two will take the final here? They're already nose to tail. We're already seeing Rochetti thinking about the outside. He looks one way, he looks another. He's playing some automotive peekaboo, trying to find the gap that will get him into the lead. And it's going to be a good slipstream here coming through under the bridge as they approach now the twin hairpins. And here we go. It's going to be another fight between these two. They're coming up now to the twin hairpins. And it's going to be a switchback. Rochetti's got the speed, but he doesn't have the inside line. And not this time around. Good effort from the 375, but not enough as we approach the final lap.
As we come down, white flag this time by. This is where I think a little bit more of an attempt, a little bit more of a send will come through for Munoz on Rochetti to try to get the pass back and try to really challenge through. Here we go, up the hill we go. Look over the shoulder from Esteban Munoz. Nobody nearby. Big defense to the inside there from Carlo Rochetti. So the pressure is felt, but you've got to be able to defend the pressure. Side by side, they go again under the bridge. Side by side, they come out, looks over the shoulder. That was an interesting moment there, and it is Munoz ahead of Rochetti after they come out from under the bridge. And now it's defense for the final half of the lap. Come down into the hairpin and not even a look over the shoulder this time. So Esteban Munoz definitely feeling confident that there was enough of a gap there to defend to the end. Look over the shoulder now, bounce in the seat. Look at that, trying to build momentum. And now Rochetti wants to get the defense. One more corner to attempt, no puddle to block. And no attempt made. Coming to the line here, Carlo Rochetti is going to win 206 Senior.
Oh no, I think Esteban Munoz got it right at the end. I think Munoz picked it up. According to our information, Esteban Munoz will actually get the win here by .074. Esteban Munoz ahead of Carlo Rochetti. That was a close one. Dylan Almeida, P3, Jaden Casas, Ethan Bella, Summer Wedded, and then Pedro Crispin, and then Leonardo Fernandez Palatine. And then it is going to be Juan Carlos Matute with one Mr. Manny Sola winning in the 206 Masters. And actually, I think we had a last-minute retirement from Eduardo Syker.
Carson is